Before I allow you to solve these trial questions, I would like to emphasize more on the how you can find the profit or marginal profits from the revenue function and the cost function, right? So based on that, let's look at something here. Since we have already done the profit function, and then the revenue function, yeah, since we have already done the profit function and the revenue function, when you are given and also a cost function, let's add it, cost function. So when you are given the revenue and the cost, you'll be able to calculate for the profit. So if you have a revenue R, you have a cost C, then my profit P is equal to R minus C. Let's keep that in mind. The same thing applies to marginal profit and marginal cost. When you have a marginal cost MC, and you have a marginal revenue MR, and you want to calculate for the marginal profit MP, you will be able to calculate for the marginal profit as MP equal to MR, which is the marginal revenue minus the marginal cost. So this is as simple as that. So you don't need to waste much time on this. Since you already know marginal revenue, marginal cost, and marginal profit, it's easy as that. So some questions are there that they are not going to tell you the marginal profit for you to calculate for the total profit. They will rather give you the marginal revenue and then the marginal cost. And therefore, you'll be able to calculate for the marginal profit and then come out with your total profit. Or you can be given the demand function. You can be given the demand function D or P. Some books represent it that way. So when you are given the demand function, they can also give you the marginal cost. They can also give you the marginal cost, or they can also give you the cost. It depends on what they are looking for. And then ask you to find the marginal profit. When you are given the demand function, remember that the demand function, it was the revenue over X. So when they give you the demand function, make sure that you multiply that demand function by X. When you multiply that demand function by X, then the whole function becomes your revenue function. So it will be up to you to integrate the marginal cost to bring it as the total cost, so that you subtract to get your profit, total profit. Or if you are not lucky and they give you the differential of the demand function, that one becomes also another one. You integrate it, you multiply by X, so you get your revenue function, and then you move on with whatever they are asking you. So it depends on the type of question that you will encounter as you go on in your calculus class. So basically, let's look at these examples. For these examples, this is basically a trial question. I would like to solve the first one and then leave the rest for you so that you can try your hands on them. So the first one says that the marginal cost C prime of X and the marginal revenue R prime of X are given by C prime of X equal to 50 plus X over 50 and R prime of X equal to 60, which is this place and this place. And then we are being asked that we are being told that the fixed cost is 200 yen or rupee. I don't know what it represents though, so you can find it out for this money symbol. So based on that, we say we should determine the maximum profit. So as you can see, we have not been given the anything. We have been given just cost and then revenue. And you need to just think of it that, oh, there's a relationship between the cost function and the revenue function. Because just come to the real world. If you go to the town, or if you are an entrepreneur, I know at Chelsea here, a lot of students are entrepreneurs, right? And you have manufactured something to get it to the market. You spent about 200 Ghana cedis on it, right? So when you manufactured it, you sent it to the market and then you sold it for about 400 Ghana cedis. Then what will be your profits? The same thing applies here. This case, they are not giving you values, they are giving you functions for you to deal with, right? So based on that, what you need to do is that your cost here, C of x, is equal to the integral of the marginal cost. Just remember that. And then it's repeat dx plus k. So based on that, this has been given as our marginal cost function, and therefore we are going to get 50x and then plus x squared over 100. Just integrated as usual as we do, plus your k. So remember that when quantity produced is 0, that means when quantity that you produce is 0, then the fixed cost over there is 200, because they told us that the fixed cost is what? 200. So when the quantity produced is 0, the fixed cost is 200, you'll be able to calculate, because here now we have our C of x. So therefore, at C of 0 is equal to 200. So we just equate it to it, 200 equal to 50 plus 50 multiplied by 0 plus 0 over 100 plus k. Therefore, my k equal to what? 200. So if your k is equal to 200, what are you supposed to do? You bring it back into the original function. So you have 50 plus x squared over 100 plus 200. Now that's our first cost. So now that we have this function, remember that we have your r prime of x, which is your marginal revenue, which is equal to 60. And therefore, when we integrate it as well as we did for the cost function, you are going to get your 60x. So the integral here will give us what? R, which is equal to what? 60x. And don't forget to bring your k. And therefore, as I told you earlier on, when you send 0 items to the market, you generate 0 revenue at the end of the year. And therefore, at x equal to 0, your revenue is equal to what? 0. So you can just put it inside and then you are going to get your k equal to 0. So at the end of the day, your revenue function becomes what? 60x. So now you have both your cost function and your revenue function. So just you have to do it, just subtract the cost, subtract the cost function from the revenue function. So when you subtract the cost function from your revenue function, you are going to get the value of the profits, right? So now my profit P is equal to my total revenue minus my total cost. My total revenue minus my total cost. So based on that, my total revenue is what? 60x minus my total cost was 50x minus, because minus everything, x squared over 100 and then minus 200, right? So now this is my profit function. So if you are being given any other value, to get them, or when you are given any other value, you are going to get you are going to substitute inside to get your total profit, right? But here, let's look at the question. The question is telling us that we should determine the maximum profit, and at the maximum point doing your differential equation, your first differential, first calculus 1, your first differential will give us maybe if the v dt equal to 0 is our maximum point. So what we need to do is that differentiate this whole thing, right? Differentiate this whole total profits. Whatever you get, let me erase this and then do it here. So when we differentiate this, if we were asked to calculate for the total profit, we are done with it. But we were asked to calculate for the maximum profit, and therefore the total profit that we get, we differentiate. When we differentiate, we are going to get 60 minus 50, right? 60 minus 50, and then minus, when you do it, you are going to get 2x over 100, right? And then differential of 200 will give us 0. So at the end of the day, as I said, for the maximum point, dp dx should give us 0, and therefore everything should go to 0. So this one and this one will give us 10, right? And then we send this one to the other side. We're going to get here 1 go here, 1 go here, or 2. So we are going to get x over 50, and therefore we are going to, at the end of the day, we are going to get x equal to 50 times 10, which is what? 500. So therefore, to get your maximum profit, you need to produce about 500 items to get it to the market. You get me? That's where you are going to get a maximum profit. So based on the fact that you have gotten the items x to be 500, you can put it back to the total profit, and then after putting it to the total profit, you can generate a value which will be maybe 2,300 rupees. So this value will be our maximum profit if you are able to produce 500 items to the market. And therefore, if you are not able to meet this number of items, it means that we are not going to get a maximum profit, and you can either incur in a loss, or it depends on what kind of investment that you put in. So please, this is quite simple example, and based on this example, I will leave you to solve the example 2. I'll leave you to solve the example 2 and then the 3 as well. The example 2 and the 3. So this is the next example. So based on this one, if you don't understand, just watch the video again. You will understand it. This is also a kind of example that we have solved similar. So you just follow same example, right? Same approach, and you'll be able to reach whatever answer that you want to get. So before I go, I'll give you the answers for the second one, and the second one, you are going to get your, let me say, total profits. You are going to get your total profits, or your profit function, as 16x minus 3x squared. That's your profit. So follow the same procedure, you'll be able to get your answer. And your revenue function, this is a profit. So now your revenue function, R of x, also you are going to get something like 24x. So remember that. And your cost function, right? Your cost function, you are going to get your cost function as 8x plus 3x squared. Even I've done everything, but I don't want to do it. So basically, those will be your answers. So don't forget to do them. So the more you practice, the more you become perfect. So please spend some time and do it. And then the last one, that is 10 plus e exponents negative 0.05x, where x is the number of units. So find the total revenue from the sale of 100 units. And we have been given this. This applies to the same thing that we did. Please do well and follow the tutorials, and you'll be able to get it. So based on that, your total revenue from the sales of 100, you are going to get an answer. Your total revenue to be 1,019.87 rupees, right? Let's see, that's a revenue. So your total revenue, you are going to multiply it by 1,000, and you are going to get 1,000 because it's in thousands. I guess so. Yeah, it's in thousands, as I said. It's in thousands rupees. So whatever you get, you multiply by 1,000. So this is your total revenue, but at the end of the day, you multiply by 1,000. Since it says in thousand to get your total revenue. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video.